With the reading today. Om Ajnanatimiraandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying and primeval. Ajo, Nityah, Shashvatah, Ayam Puranah, Na Hanyate Hanyamane Sharire. He is not slain when the body is slain. Slain means getting perished or getting killed. So, that soul which is never born, which never dies, and having once been, it never ceased to be. It is Aja, unborn. It is Nityaha, eternal. Shashvato, it is ever existing. Purano, it is primeval. That soul is not killed when the body is killed. That soul does not die when the body is dead. Krishna thus instructs us that we are spirit, soul, and eternal. That we are spirit, soul, and eternal. Therefore, why should we subject ourselves to birth and death? One who utilizes his intelligence can understand this. One who is situated in Krishna consciousness is not interested in promotion to any planet where death exists. Rather, being promoted to the spiritual sky, he receives a body just like God's. Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha. What is the body of God? God's body is Sat Chidananda Vigraha. Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. It is eternally full of knowledge and bliss. Such a body is Krishna's body. And anybody who promotes oneself to the spiritual sky, to the spiritual world, he also gets a body like Krishna's, that is Satchidananda Vigraha. God's body is Satchidananda, eternal, full of knowledge and full of pleasure. Therefore, Krishna is called the reservoir of all pleasure. If upon leaving this body, we transfer ourselves to the spiritual world, to Krishna's planet or any other spiritual planet, we attain a similar body full of Satchidananda. The spirit soul is a very minute particle within the body. It cannot be seen like the external body, but it is sustaining the external body. Spirit soul is very minute, so minute that you cannot even say, cannot even see. The size, the measurement, comparative measurement is given that if you take the tip of a hair and cut it into 1,000 pieces, then again cut it, each piece cut into again 100 pieces. So 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair is the size of the soul. Keshagra shatabhagasya shatadha kalpitasya cha. The spirit soul is a very minute particle within the body. It cannot be seen like the external body, but it is sustaining the external body. The object of the Shat Chakra system is to locate the soul at the topmost part of the head. From there, one who is perfect in Dhyana Yoga can transfer himself to a higher planet at will. This is the perfection of this type of yoga. The Dhyana Yogi is somewhat like a traveler who thinks, oh, let me see what the moon is like, then I will transfer myself to higher planets. He goes from here to there in the universe, just as on earth travelers go from New York to California to Canada. But a Krishna conscious person is not interested in such interplanetary travel within the material universe. His goal is service to Krishna and transferal to the spiritual sky. So devotees, they are not interested. They are not interested in traveling on this earth to different countries, and also they are not interested to travel from planet to planet like the yogis. Their only interest is serving the Supreme Lord Hari, Krishna, and at the end of the life, going back to the spiritual world. Om ittekaksharam brahma vyaharan mam anusmaran yah prayati tyajan deham sayati paramam gatim. After being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating the sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters, if one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. So once one is perfectly situated in yoga practice and vibrating the Omkara, Om, Srila Prabhupada says, is the impersonal representation of Krishna, the supreme combination of letters. If one thinks of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Om or Omkara is the concise form or impersonal form of the transcendental vibration. The Dhyana yogi should vibrate Om while remembering Krishna or Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The impersonal sound of Krishna is Om, but the sound Hare Krishna contains, but the sound Hare Krishna contains Om. So in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Om is already included. Whatever the case, the entire yoga system aims at concentration on Vishnu. Impersonalists may imagine a form of Vishnu, but the personalists do not imagine. They actually see the form of the Supreme Lord. Whether one imagines or factually sees, one has to concentrate his mind on the Vishnu form. Here, the word Mam means unto the Supreme Lord Vishnu. If one can remember Vishnu, upon quitting his body, he can enter into the spiritual kingdom. One who is intelligent naturally thinks, I am permanent and eternal. So one who is naturally intelligent, he thinks that I am permanent, I am eternal. Why should I be interested in things that are not permanent? Actually, no one wants an existence that is temporary, right? None of us want. Even if you touch an ant, it does not want to die, it wants to live on. It runs away, right? Any animal you touch, it wants to save its life, it does not want to die. So that means every jiva wants to be eternal. If we are living in an apartment and the landlord asks us to vacate, we have to do so, whether we want to leave or not, to leave. However, if we move to a better apartment, we are not sorry. It is our nature. However, to want to remain wherever we live, that is because we are permanent and want a permanent residence. Our inclination is to remain. Therefore, we don't want to die. Because we are eternal, the quality of the Atma, the nature of Atma is eternal. It's never dying. So that is why, though we are in the temporary body, we think that I should not die. That thinking that desire to remain alive comes from the Atma. We don't want the miseries of birth, old age, disease, and death. These are external miseries inflicted by material nature, and they attack us like some fever. In order to extricate ourselves, we have to take certain precautions. To get rid of these miseries, it is necessary to get rid of the material body, because these miseries are inherent in material existence. Thus, inherent means it is already inbuilt in the material nature. To give pain to the jiva is already existing in the nature, because it is made just like, say, a vehicle. It is running on the road. You cannot ask why it is running on the road. It is made to run on the road, right? It is inherent. So similarly, the miseries are inherent in material existence. One cannot avoid miseries. Thus, by vibrating Om and leaving the material body thinking of the Supreme Lord, the yogi is transferred to the spiritual world. Those who are not personalists, however, cannot enter into the spiritual planet of Lord Sri Krishna. So, there are different stages of development of progress of spiritual realization. The first realization in the spiritual path is the realization that the absolute truth is impersonal. God has no form, he is Nirakara. But if one further practices self-realization, spiritual activities, he comes to know that impersonal realization was not complete realization. Absolute truth is localized Paramatma, who is situated in every heart, in every atom. Comes to that understanding. That is called as Paramatma realization. And when one further progresses, one comes to know that there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who creates, maintains, and annihilates this entire manifestation of the material world, but he resides in the spiritual world, in his abode, the supreme abode, performing varieties of leelas for the pleasure of his devotees. He is a person. He has emotions. So that is called as the Bhagavan realization of the absolute truth. So Brahman realization, that is impersonal aspect of the absolute truth realization. Then Paramatma realization, the localized aspect of the absolute truth. And Bhagavan realization, the personal aspect of the absolute truth. So if someone says, God is Nirakara, God is formless, you should say, yes, God is formless. That is one of the aspects of the absolute truth. God is formless. Yes. But somebody says, no, 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 God is not formless. God is the Paramatma who is in the heart of every devotee. Yes, God is also the Paramatma who is in the heart of every devotee, every jiva, sorry, and every atom in the universe. Somebody says, no, 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 I don't believe in Nirakara and Paramatma, but God exists as the complete form of the absolute truth. Chadaishwarya Purna, Bhagavan. Yes, that is also true. But Bhagavan realization of absolute truth is the complete realization of the absolute truth. So, those who are not personalists, however, cannot enter into the spiritual planet of Shri Krishna. So, those who are not personalists, those who believe God to be impersonal, they cannot enter the spiritual world where personality of Godhead lives, right? They will remain in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti of the Supreme Lord, which is between the material world and the spiritual world. They remain outside in the Brahma Jyoti effulgence, just as the sunshine is not different from the sun globe. The Brahma Jyoti effulgence of the Supreme Lord is not different from the Supreme Lord. The impersonalists are placed in the Brahma Jyoti as minute particles. We are all spiritual sparks, and the Brahma Jyoti is full of these spiritual sparks. In this way, the impersonalists merge into the existence, into the spiritual existence. However, individuality is retained because the spirit soul is constitutionally an individual. Because the impersonalists don't want a personal form, they are placed and held in the impersonal Brahmajyoti. Lord Krishna also says, in the past also I was there and you were there. At present also both of us are there as individuals, and in future also we will remain to be individuals. Right? So because the impersonalists don't want a personal form, they are placed and held in the impersonal Brahmajyoti. They exist just as atoms exist within the sunshine. The individual spiritual spark remains within the Brahmajyoti as if homogeneous, as if one with the Supreme. Right? That is what they mean. For them, the nirvana or moksha or salvation or mukti means getting merged into the existence of the Supreme, getting merged into the effulgence of the Brahma Jyoti of the. What is Brahma Jyoti? What is the effulgence? It is the effulgence emanating from the body of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Brahma Jyoti, that is why not different from Krishna. Just like sunshine and sun, simultaneously they are same and different. Right? When the sun rises during the day, when sunlight enters our house, we say sunshine is here, right? So that doesn't mean sun is here. Simultaneously, the sun rays are sun and not sun. So similarly, Brahma Jyoti is simultaneously one with and different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because the impersonalists don't want a personal form, they are placed and held in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. There they exist just as atoms exist within the sunshine. The individual spiritual spark remains within the Brahma Jyoti as if homogeneous. All living entities, we all want